I still remember the day my life at school quietly changed. It wasn't the day he won a prize. It wasn't the day he topped the class. It was the day a teacher smiled at me, patted my shoulder, and said in front of everyone, "This is our smartest student." The class clapped. Some smiled. Some looked away. He smiled too. But he didn't know that single sentence would follow me for years. Like a shadow he couldn't escape. From that day on, it wasn't just me anymore. He became the smart kid. Teachers expected perfect answers always. Classmates expected help constantly. And mistakes were no more longer allowed. If he scored 95 instead of 100, people asked, what happened? If someone else scored 80, they were praised. If he scored 80, it was a disappointment. No more one-sided out loud, but everyone felt it. At first, he thought being labeled smart was a blessing. Teachers trusted me. My parents were proud. My report cards became family trophies. But slowly, the pressure grew heavier. He stopped raising my hand unless he was 100% sure. He stopped asking questions because smart kids already know. He studied not to learn but to avoid failure. Every exam felt like a test of my identity, not my knowledge. If he failed, he wouldn't just be wrong, he would lose who he was supposed to be. Classmates came to me before every test. Can you explain this? Can you send notice? Just tell me the answer. At first, he helped happily, but over time, he noticed something painful. They didn't invite me to play. They didn't sit with me unless they needed something. When he refused once, they whispered, "He thinks he's better than us." He wasn't arrogant. He was tired, but no more one asked how he felt. One day, he failed a math test. Not badly, just average. The paper landed on my desk with a red mark that felt louder than the classroom bell. He waited for someone to say, "It's okay." Instead, he heard, "You. How did you get this wrong? Weren't you the smart one?" The teacher looked surprised. My classmates looked amused. He laughed along. Inside, something cracked. After that day, he became quieter. People thought he was being proud. Teachers thought he was distracted. Friends thought he was ignoring them. No more one realized he was scared. Scared of disappointing everyone. Scared of proving he wasn't as smart as they believed. Scared that without good grades, he would be nothing. He wanted to scream, "I'm allowed to struggle too." But smart kids aren't supposed to struggle. At home, things weren't better. My parents didn't pressure me intentionally. They were proud. They told relatives, "He's very intelligent. He'll definitely become something big." He smiled politely, but every compliment added weight. He stopped telling them when he felt overwhelmed. He stopped sharing my fears, because what if he failed and broke their image of me? It happened during final exams. 3 subjects in one day. No more sleep. No more peace. Halfway through the paper, my mind went blank. Not confused, blank. My hands shook. The clock ticked louder than my thoughts. For the first time, he wanted to run not from the exam, but from the label. He submitted the paper and finished. Outside the hall, he sat alone and cried quietly, hoping no more one would see. Most people didn't notice my silence, but one teacher did. She called me after class and sighed softly. "You know, being smart doesn't mean being perfect." He didn't answer. She continued, "You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to feel tired." That day, for the first time, someone saw me, not my grades. Slowly, he started changing. He stopped answering every question. He asked for help when he needed it. He accepted that learning includes failure. Some people were confused. Some were disappointed. But he felt lighter. He realized something important. Being labeled smart took away my right to be human. And taking that right but was necessary. People think smart kids have it easy. They don't see the anxiety behind high scores. They don't see the fear of falling behind. They don't see the loneliness of always being the example. Not every quiet student is proud. Not every top scorer is confident. And not every smart kid is okay. If you were the smart one in your class and you were struggling, you were not weak. If you feel pressure instead of pride, you're not ungrateful. You're human. And if you're a teacher, parent, or friend, please remember, a child is more than a label. A student is more than grades. And intelligence should never come at the cost of mental peace.